This is Casey Doty with the Tech Matters YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you 30 leads for $30 with special guest Brandon Cohan.
Thanks for coming today, everybody. Today we're going to be doing 30 leads for $30. That is Facebook lead generation and doing ads through Facebook. Right now is a bigger time than probably literally any time in history to be taking advantage of Facebook ads. There's more people at home right now. Everybody knows with the COVID craziness going on, there's more people at home, more people on their computers. And so this is the perfect time to run Facebook ads. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to set up probably the most basic but also most effective of these Facebook ads, and that's doing an ad based on a listing and or an open house. You could use the exact same ad for both. You would just change a little bit of the wording to do an open house. What I've been recommending is I don't know if you guys saw my other video of how to hold a virtual open house, and that's basically you set up the open house on Zoom. You physically go to the house to start the Zoom meeting, and then people log in and you give them a tour. You turn the camera on your phone around and you give them a tour just like you're in the house. And Armless now will allow you to post those into the open house section of Armless. And so I recommend if you're going to do one of those, you definitely do an ad for it, just like I'm going to show you today. And again, they've been really effective. So I'm going to start off by just really quick showing you some stats of a couple ads that Martha and Brandon have ran. And so you can see Brandon's on the top, and this is actually not even when his ad was at the finished point. I think he got it down to 34 cents a lead is what it ended up getting down to. And so this one you can see 39 cents a lead, 1,200 impressions, 134 clicks. It really, really was an effective ad. And again, it was just an ad for a listing. And you can see below, you can see Martha, if you look down here a little bit. Sorry, I'm messing with my Zoom here. So if you look down here, Martha ran a couple ads, and she got one ad she ran, it was $1.67 a lead. Another one was exactly $1 a lead. The one she's running right now, it's at 73 cents per lead. So it's still got a ways to go. So you can see you're getting really good response from these ads. So, and one of the things that Brandon and we did a class yesterday as part of the market of the moment thing yesterday that stressed some points of really, you got to think about how the leads, what type of leads you're getting. And Brandon, if you wanted to, could you comment a little bit about what we talked about with good leads and how you kind of view the leads coming from Facebook? And I unmuted you.
Absolutely, man. What you guys need to understand, because I've heard this from a bunch of agents, that internet leads and Facebook ads in particular, they're not good leads. You just need to understand that they're a little bit further out, typically in the buying process or selling process. So whereas you might get a referral that's going to be buying or selling within the next 3 to 6 months, in most cases, internet leads are going to be anywhere from 12 to 18 months out, because at this point in time, the internet allows it. They can get all of the information and they can start shopping 18 months ahead of time so that they can actually begin to educate themselves. So really the crux of it is you have to, one, be willing, and two, set up the system that you're going to maintain the connection with them and actually stay in touch with them over that time. If you're not, if you don't want to actually put that amount of work in, my suggestion is don't spend the money on a Facebook ad.
Yep. Yeah, and that's so one of the things that I was talking about is my class next Tuesday with that 10 days of pain follow-up plan is that hits them really hard in that 10 days to hopefully make that connection. And then you go to the typical ways of keeping in touch with them and keep in touch with them over that and stay in front of them over that next period of time to really make spending money on these leads worth it. And that's not to say you can't get leads that come to fruition more quickly, but the typical ones are going to be farther out.
Right on, Casey. And a side note on this, guys, keep in mind, just like when you add anybody else to your database, you're not only looking to do business with them, but also all of their friends, all of their family members, and everyone that they know. So during that time period, you're still dripping on them. You're still communicating with them, asking them for referrals and things of that nature. So I personally have gotten more referrals from people that I have never actually met because they're internet leads than I have from people that I actually have met. I just haven't met that many people, but I haven't met thousands of internet leads that have sent me referrals.
And one of the things that's cool about Command is we give you guys so many tools to share with them, whether it's the neighborhood landing pages, your app, and then they're able to share like your app with other people. So the more parts of our technology that you can get to them and then allow them to share that out. After you find a Facebook lead, friend them on Facebook, and then you get access to all their mutual friends. So you can really build on making contact with these people. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you actually how to set up an ad. We're going to make sure your Facebook's connected, how to set up an ad, and then I'm going to show you a couple different ways of the lead capture, because you have to send them somewhere if they click on learn more. Now, one of the huge benefits of this is because of our relationship with Facebook, as soon as they click that learn more button or contact me button, Facebook automatically sends you their contact info. So even if they don't fill out a contact card once they get to your website or your single property site or your app page, you still get their info. But you still want to also send them somewhere that's your website, your app, your single property website. So I'm going to show you how to set up a single property website, because that's a great place to direct people when you have one of these ads going on. And then another thing I wanted to comment on is, I know, like I said, we're going to be focused on listings. If you don't have your own listings, that's fine. Talk to another agent at our office. Run it out on one of their listings. Treat it just like you're treating an open house. You'd go sit at an open house, a listing for another agent at our office. So treat this just like you're going to sit in an open house. Run the ad, pull in those leads, and most agents are going to be receptive to that, because you're going to be spending money to advertise their property and hopefully bringing them buyers in to buy their property. First thing we're going to do is everybody needs to make sure that they have their Facebook accounts connected. So we're going to click on our names in the top right corner, go to settings, and then once you're in settings, there's going to be two separate Facebook things you need to connect. And yours will be in a different order, because once you connect these, it actually puts the apps in alphabetical order under your connected app here. And you still have some that, if they're not connected, they'll be lower down. So you want to connect Facebook post scheduling. And then you also want to connect your Facebook ads manager. And by connecting those, just click connect on the side. And that's what allows Facebook to integrate with Command and have this be seamless of you creating these ads. Next, we're going to go into, so if you click the KW on the top right corner up there, that will allow you to see what these different sections are. So we're going to actually click campaigns. And we are going to set up a new ad. Oh, first thing we're going to do, we're going to connect your payment information. So if you will click payments, because you cannot publish one of these ads if you haven't set up your payment information. So click payments and then do add payment method. I don't know why is that popping in there. So you can add your payment method. So put in all your information, and then that's how you can add the card to make sure you're able to actually post the ad. Now you can create one right now. You can see I don't have a card connected, so you can create it right now without adding a card. But to run the actual ad, you have to put a card in. First thing we're going to do is click create new campaign. We're going to do a social ad. So if this ad is for a listing or for an open house, I would just name it that listing or open house for 1234 Main Street or whatever it is, because this ad name, that's just for you. The public doesn't see that, so that's just for you tracking this stuff. So I'm going to use, actually real quick, I got to look at this address real quick. 15835 listings. Jackie's letting me use one of her listings for this. So now your goal. So again, the goal here, you can see there's various goals. Again, that's really for your tracking purposes. It doesn't do anything different to the ad. That's correct, right, Brandon? That doesn't actually change what happens on the ad, does it?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I haven't played around with all of them as of yet.
Yeah.
Understand a couple of things, guys. So attract listings, by and large, that isn't nearly as effective as attract buyers. Here's the reason. Most people that are surfing Facebook or whatever, they get attracted by pretty pictures of pretty houses, right? In most cases, that's a buyer. The cool part about that is about 57% of the buyers that actually sign up on Facebook, they also need to sell a house.
Yep.
So by doing the quick and easy ad, you're actually getting buyers and sellers. So don't get all up in your head about listings.
Yep. So, and again, this section, this is just, again, part of what your goal is, because you can choose any one of these and still do the same demographics and everything on each ad. So I'm going to do attract buyers. And then here's another option you have. You have the option to run this campaign in multiple places. So I'm going to choose Facebook and Instagram just so I can show you the different options that you have between the two. But the most data we have right now is on Facebook ads. Brandon, you just run yours on Facebook, correct?
Well, yeah, because I don't want to wait for the people to hit 18 from Instagram. I don't have that kind of time, man.
So if you're heavy on Instagram, you can do it on Instagram, but we have a lot of stats from this being successful on Facebook. So, okay, now we're going to do setup campaign, and this will take us into the customizing your campaign section. Now, I'm not sure if some of you have done ads on Facebook. This is so much simpler a process than running it on Facebook. There is so many more things to click, so many more options. Now you have the ad runs on the similar system, but this is just so much easier to run an ad through here. It's laid out so nicely for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find the listing, because we're doing a listing ad. So I'm going to click on not only my listings, because I don't have any. So hopefully I typed that address right. There we go. I'm going to select that property. And it makes this so easy. You can see right away. You can see the house pops up over here. And then I'll show you in a minute how you can actually change that picture to a different picture if you like, and a couple other things you can change. So obviously, very important part of the ad is the ad text. Now, one of the things that Brandon has told me on this, and I found that a lot of other people do this same thing, is they treat the headline is the call to action. So you can see right here with the headline, that's actually the call to action, and the main copy really acts as the headline because that's what people are going to see first. So, and you can see right here, it's kind of a cool thing. They actually pull something from Armless and put that here so you can see what they've done, so you can have a little quick description there. Now, Brandon, do you do your main copy section shorter than that?
I do.
Yeah.
So the way that I actually work, my main copy is technically my title.
Yep.
So what I'll typically put there is really inexpensive, cheap house, cheap 3-bed, 2-bath in Phoenix, or a gorgeous 3-bed with a pool in Scottsdale, or something like that that is going to grab their attention.
Yep.
So that's it.
Yeah,
Less is more. Don't overthink it.
yeah, that's one of the things that all the people that
Whatever the selling point.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Brandon.
What I was going to say is whatever the biggest selling feature of that property is. So if it's on horsey property, then obviously play that one. If it's a huge house on acreage, if it has a pool, if it has a RV garage, whatever that is, use that.
One of the things that everybody that does these Facebook ads agree is just what Brandon said. Less is more. You're trying to get them to contact you to find out more about these properties. So you don't want to give them every bit of detail about the property. You want them to contact you to find out more information. So you can see what I did here. I just went and copied this main copy down in the description because they do make you put something into the description. So I'm going to type in, for instance, up here, and I don't know, this isn't my house. I would have obviously found out more information about this, but I'm going to say beautiful 3-bed, 2-bath, and a great neighbor. Spell things right too, by the way, guys. Make sure you spell things right. Now, one of the things you can do.
we could actually split test that, Casey, and see if it helps or hurts.
see if it actually makes a difference. Now, one of the things you can do that I know a couple other people I watched on Facebook are really big on is it does give you lots of emoji option to use here. So you can use little dollar sign emojis. You can mess with some of this stuff here to kind of grab their attention a little more. So that is totally up to you if you want to do that. I don't know stats on how good that works or anything, but you do have the option to put emojis and things like that in here. And you can see they have the full range of all these emojis here. So you are welcome to put some of those in there. Now, headline, I know this is a headline that Brandon uses a lot for price, for price and picks, click learn more, or to learn more. What is it? Price. Why am I?
Price and picks, hit learn more.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And probably. Except again. Yeah. So there you go. For price and picks, click learn more. Again, less is more. So, and then if you, like I said, you do have to have something in the description. So if you want to keep a line down there, that's great. So I'm just going to leave that one line down there. It's not going to hurt anything to have that down there. And you can tell when you completed one of the sections, a little green check mark pops up here. So it lets you know that you've actually finished out a section. So we're going to do save ad text. Now we're going to look at, so it says the ad media is done, but I'm going to show you a couple options that you can do in the ad media. So you can, one of the things you can do is you can change the image. So you can see, you can change the image. You can use any image from the house. And one of the things that I've heard also recommended, and Brandon recommends also, use the best picture of the house. If the house has like a killer kitchen, use the kitchen. If it has a killer backyard, use the backyard. So use one of the, the best picture of the house. And that's super important, like condos and things where you can't even get a good picture of them. Definitely use another part of the house. Now I'm going to show you real quick, for instance, with this picture, I don't like how it's cutting off the top of the house there. So I would actually move this up right there and crop that. So you can see now on the right-hand side, now it's not cutting off the front of that house. So make sure your picture looks good and you can crop that. And then also, Brandon, you normally just use one picture, don't you? You don't use a rotating pictures?
No, one picture.
Yep.
One picture, the best picture. The best picture rarely is going to be the front of the house.
Yep.
So
So,
I understand that's what most agents do, but think about it this way, guys. How often do you actually stop when you're scrolling through MLS because of the front of a house?
yep.
Like,
Yep.
never.
So like
So
on this
same
house,
idea here.
yeah, like on this house, I probably wouldn't use that front picture. Now I don't know which picture I've used. I don't know this house well enough. I would have looked through a lot of these pictures. Oh, it's nice. They have some little gnomes on their thing there. But you can see, you can switch through and you can look at these pictures and pick out the best, the one that you like best, the one you think that's attention grabbing. So
Especially as we move forward into as it gets hotter, obviously you're going to want to, if the house has a pool and a really great looking backyard, use that one.
yep, totally.
It's really whatever is going to attract somebody.
There you go.
Now, you're not going to use that pool pick necessarily in January.
Yeah. So like this would be a cool picture to use. This would be a cool picture to use. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. And one of the cool things this also does in the preview is you can see what it's going to look like on other on your devices as well. And again, you can see what it's going to look like on Instagram story. So you can kind of mess with that as well. Now, another thing you can do is you can also do video right here. So say you're going to do, this is an ad for an open house instead of a listing. Well, you can actually throw in and upload a video of the tour. If you have a tour created of the house, you can throw that in here. Now, another thing that Keller Williams offers is these neighborhood videos. So you can also use one of these neighborhood videos. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to create one of these. So say this neighborhood is in Greer Ranch. Let's see if this one comes up. Again, spell it right. Greer Ranch. There we go. Greer Ranch, Surprise, Arizona. So I found that here. So I'm going to hit next. And watch how easy this is to create this. I would change that, add a little adjective to that. You can see it puts a number of homes for sale, average price per square foot. Now, this is something you can mess with right here, and this changes some of the little animations in the ad. You can change this to, they have a bunch of other options in here for this. So I'm going to do, let's do hipster. I want to see what that one actually looks like. I don't think this is a hipster community. This isn't Brooklyn, New York, the new areas of Brooklyn, New York or anything, but we can still see what it does. Okay, and then agent information, make sure all your agent information is correct. Market center brokerage information. Oh, cool, they fixed the cropping on these logos. So now what I would do here is I would make sure I had a logo in that was the longer version of our logo. I'm not going to take the time to download that and do that now, but I would make sure this logo is correct here. Okay, so now check this out. Look how easy this is to do one of these videos. And so this is the Keller Williams. This is a system called Smart Videos that Keller Williams came out with. Now they are going to start adding a lot more videos to this, but this is a way, part of this ad has the app in it. So this is a great way to advertise the app, advertise the neighborhood, or just use this if, honestly, if there's not great pictures of the house, or if you're doing a different type of ad. For instance, for your mobile app, these are great videos to use. So I'm going to show you what one of these looks like if I can play it So there you go. So that's one of these new smart videos. So that's pretty cool. You can use those in there. I really like that. So, but for right now, I'm going to change this one. Yeah, go ahead.
On the video, it said that you could join you on the KW app.
Yep.
Is there a place within that video for them to connect to it?
Well, no, that's
Okay.
no, because it's a created video. So that's what I was saying. Like if you were doing an ad or a post on your website, I would put information about your ad, your app in there. So
Okay.
for instance, if I was doing this, if I was going to use one of these videos in an ad, in my text, I would put on the Learn More button, I would put for more information and to download my app, click Learn More. And then I'll show you the next step of where I would actually put that information. So now we're done with the ad media. So we're going to go to this next step here. And then I'm going to skip forward a little bit just because this plays into this. So right here, this is where you choose the destination URL. So you can choose to send them anywhere you want after they click the Learn More button. So like I was saying before, whether it's a single property website or your mobile app page, because all of you have a website that it looks really cool for people to download the mobile app. So if I was doing an app that talked about my mobile home search app at all, I would direct them to that URL for my app, or at least make sure they could download it on the page I went to, which when I show you the single property website, you will see that. So yeah, the reason they don't put that in there is because it's not clickable, and yeah, it wouldn't be clickable or anything. So that's why they leave it up to you to put it in.
And where can we find our mobile app destination URL?
I will show you that also.
Thank you, Casey.
Of course, of course. So you can actually find it in your app. You just act like you're sharing the app with somebody, and the link that's in there, that'll take it to you. But then I'll show you where you can also find it inside Command as well. So, okay, so now we're actually going to set up the Facebook part, the back end of the ad. So first thing you got to do, very important, pick the page you're going to use. So I would be doing it for, this would be technically my business page. If I was an agent, it's the office's page, but this would be your business page. Now, you have the option, like I said, if you choose to do Instagram as well at the beginning, it gives you a couple more options here. If you're just doing Facebook, these two little Instagram ad and Instagram story options, they would not be there. Now on this, I would generally run it as an ad because it's not set up to transfer so well to a story. You could see here when we did the story, like, I don't know, I would do it as an ad. Maybe if you know a lot more about Instagram, that's up to you. I'm not big on Instagram for these purposes. So. And then you have the option of a couple different things. So for instance, if you were talking about mortgage or something like that, you could do apply now, sign up if you're trying to get them to sign up for something. Generally, I would do the learn more button. So another very important part, right here where you choose the destination, you have the option of use Facebook lead generation form or use a site or landing page. Now this is kind of misleading because if you choose use Facebook lead generation form, you still get to send them to the website of your choice, the landing page of your choice, or wherever, any destination on the internet. The difference is with the use Facebook lead generation form, that's what I was telling you guys about earlier, where when they click the learn more button, Facebook automatically sends them sends you their contact info without them ever filling anything out. I mean, it's so sometimes they don't even realize they've left Facebook when they've clicked that learn more button. They just think they're still on Facebook and they're on your website or your wherever. So make sure you use this Facebook lead generation form and not the site or landing page, because again, you get the benefit of both worlds if you use the use Facebook lead generation form, because right here, I'm still going to put in, and I've already created this ahead of time, but I will show you how to do this again as soon as we get done with this ad. I have a Desert Mirage single property website set up. So what that is just a website that's dedicated to that property. If someone goes to it, it sends the info directly to your command. Even if it's another person's listing, you can still use one of these, set it up. That's another cool thing about Command. You have access to everybody's listings. Now get approval from the agent in our office. So there's that section. Now, ad targeting. So I'm always going to use custom settings right here. You never want to use target my database. This function is not, it's because people don't always use the same contact info in Facebook that they currently use. So for their email, for instance, I use an email from when I was in high school for my Facebook email. I don't use that email for anything else. It just happens to be what I signed up for Facebook with. So that all this targeting to your database is all based on that. It gets pretty complicated. So just don't use the target my database. And anyways, you don't need to target them on Facebook. You can just send them an email or send them a text message. They're already in your database. We're trying to catch people that are not in our database. So we're going to do target a custom audience. And then we're going to do, so this is in surprise. So now, great quote from Brandon on this is, how far of a radius should you do for the ad? You do as far as you're willing to go to take an appointment. So if you're willing to drive 50 miles for an appointment, put in 50 miles. So
if you're not and you still want to go a little bit further, then hand off a referral and get 25%.
Yep. So because I really would not, I think putting a bigger distance on this is a no-brainer. I mean, not everybody moves within 10 miles of themselves to their new property. So there's no reason not to widen your target area and get more people looking at this ad.
Which brings back another point, Casey.
Yeah.
Be kind of general. Try to stay away from being extremely specific on location when you're actually doing any type of description or anything. So kind of use Phoenix or Surprise or Scottsdale as opposed to Great House in Greer Ranch, because someone may go, you know what, I don't like that area of Surprise.
Very good idea. Very good idea. I didn't even think about that. Okay.
Or you can even go Great West Valley Home, Great North Valley Home, Great Northeast Valley, because people will come on. It could be a house in Buckeye and people will go, oh, you know what? I thought that was in Glendale. Well, yeah. I have houses in Glendale that I can sell you. So how about we go do that?
Yeah. The whole goal is to get them to click on the ad to start a conversation with you. That's the whole goal. So that is a great point by Brandon. So when I was doing up here and doing my ad tech, so like he said, I would we're going to take this out. So we're just going to take that part out and just, again, leave it more general. So, and again, anytime you make any change, you do have to hit save ad text. Let's get back to the ad targeting. So now, another very important thing, like if you remember one or two things from setting up this ad today, remember this. When you are setting up interests on here, never, never, never use and as the option here. Always use or. If you use and, they have to match every single one of the interests you set up. So I've seen somebody use like 20 different interests on here and use and. Well, that means the person would have to be interested in mortgage, interested in architecture, first-time home buyer, second home buyer. Like no one's going to match all those things. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So for instance, we're targeting real estate people. So one of the interests I would do would be Zillow. And you can see this pops up here. Now, don't do Premier Agent Zillow and Trulia because that's going to be to agents. So click Zillow. And then we can do Realtor and do Realtor.com. Again, don't do Realtor.com Pro. Do Realtor. So, and you can type in, there is tons of stuff you can type in here. So you can just go to town on typing in stuff here. Let's see if first time gets us. Let's see what home gets us. Business. So you can type in architecture, mortgage, and what this does is if anybody has clicked on an ad that's about one of these things, liked a post that's about one of these things, talked about one of these things, yes, Facebook is watching everything you're doing if you're typing it into Facebook. And I'll show you here. So I've selected 3 different things here, and you can see they just have to match one of these things, and your ad will target them above targeting just a random person who's on Facebook. And so especially if you're not spending a lot of money on your ads, I would definitely say doing some of this targeting. So just remember, always do or not and. Remember that. So now I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to do save Facebook and Instagram ad. Now duration and budget. Okay, this is also very important. So the average ad runs for 10 days at $3 a day. So you can see here this is a little different because I have this one set up for Facebook and Instagram. So I'm going to uncheck this and I'm going to act like we are doing just a Facebook ad right now so you guys can see what this, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that.
Going back to your setting your target, is there an audience size that is desirable? Like, can you have too big or too small an audience?
Too small for sure. Yeah, too small for sure. And that's why I didn't want to do, that's why you don't do and on those, because that's going to shrink your audience. Like Brandon, he doesn't even do the interest. You don't even do interest on your ad, do you?
No, because I don't really care.
Yeah, but I know quite a few other people do the interest on their ads, and
that sounds like you, Brandon.
some people think that gives people that might be a little more actually interested in real estate at that time because they have clicked on other real estate related things. So test it out. Do some interest one time. Don't do them another time. Run the same ad without interest in there and then run it with interest in there. But I would say as far as when you are going to do interest, do multiple things. At least do the Zillow and Realtor.com because that means those people have looked at houses at some point. And then, yeah, you don't want to get too narrow. And as long as you don't do and, you're not going to narrow it down too much.
So
go ahead.
With that type of thing, what you're really looking at is, would you rather add more people to your database or less people that may be further along the line towards buying or selling?
That's exactly the way to put it. That is the exact way to put it. Yes.
I would rather have more people because that gives me more opportunities to get referrals, more opportunities.
Okay. I'm thinking about, like, as you're setting your budget, like, have you maxed out or exhausted what you had your target budget set for?
Yeah. So if you're running the ads like we're doing it for $3 a day, you're not going to exhaust I don't think you're going to, I haven't seen anybody exhaust their budget if you do it in that way. Or you're going to use your budget for each day if you do this. Have you ever not used all the $3 a day on your ads? Has Facebook ever not used all of it, Brandon? On these recent ones.
I don't think so. So on that one, Margaret, a couple of things. First, start this whole thing with the end in mind. How many leads can you actually handle? And when you go into it, really think about it from the standpoint of, if I spend $1 a lead, how many leads can I handle without losing my mind? Because you're going to have to follow up with these people every day for the next 10 days. So if you get 35, 40, 50 leads, can you handle that without losing it?
Yeah. And that includes, yeah.
Go ahead, Casey.
And that includes, and when he says handle the lead, it's not just calling them a couple times, it's calling them each day, texting them, emailing them, setting up neighborhood landing pages, looking them up on Monsoon, doing research to find out if the information is correct. So there's more work than just a phone call. And so that's what he's talking about when, like, how many can you handle in that time period?
Number two, I would suggest you set, especially if it's your first ad, I would go with less money for less time, because you can always add. You can always add more days. You can always add more money. And you want to be incredibly impatient with this. So if it's your first time and you're not getting any leads, or your ad spend is like $2 a lead, kill it, review it, change something because it's not working, and then start all over again.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's honestly not a bad idea to say you wanted to spend $10 on ad, say you wanted to spend $30. I might even just run an ad for 3 days and do that $10 and see how that goes. Well, if you decide, oh, that ad worked great, well, you can just do the same ad for another 3 days after it. And if it doesn't work great, then switch something up on the ad, change something on it, and then run it for another 3 days. You're spending the same amount of money in the end, but you have a better chance to spend the money more wisely, I guess I would say, if you do it that way.
Well, and don't be ashamed to actually run the same ad concurrently, but 2 different wordings. So you're actually going to split test one versus the other. So if I'm, instead of running one $4 ad, I may run 2 $2 ads that are the same listing, but different verbiage.
Yeah, different verbiage.
See which one pulls.
Yeah, different verbiage. Do on one of them, do interest. The other one, don't do interest. So try something, try something different out. So one of the things here, so I'm going to go back to a different ad here so I can show you this without the Instagram budgeting mixed in here, because most of you are not going to be doing the Instagram budgeting or having Instagram in there. So I'm going to show you this without that. I think it's this one. Yeah, here we go. So say I wanted to start the ad running tomorrow, or probably not today. So say I wanted to start the ad running tomorrow and I wanted to run it for one more day, 3 days. Now, really on this ad, I would probably start it a little, the best idea if you're going to run it, I would run it over the weekend if you're just going to run it for like 3 days. So, and you can see here, so say our budget is $9. Now this ad is going to run for 3 days or $3 a day. So you can adjust the different features of this. So say I wanted to spend $4 a day. You can see this going up, or I wanted to spend $5 a day. This is the total amount that your ad will spend. So you need to pay attention to that, because that's the total amount it will spend. You can see the amount per day, but that's the total amount it will spend. And then, as you saw on the other page, if you do Instagram, you can break it up between Instagram and Facebook. You can have it spend more on Facebook per day than it does on Instagram. So those are some other options there. So
and this is how it configures how many times it surfaces on people's pages.
Well, no, this is how you decide how much money you're willing to spend each day on your ad running. So that's what this determines. And then the algorithms and everything in the background then determine where it shows up, and you get charged when someone clicks on it.
Okay. No,
you don't get charged necessarily when somebody clicks on it. The algorithm of how it spends the money, I don't actually know the technical details of that, but just think about it that this is what it'll spend each day for you running the ad. They have this down beyond a science of how this works. So yeah.
Okay.
So, and again, that's why start out an ad with $2 a day or $3 a day, run it for 3 days. And then if it works, if you get a couple leads, run it again. And that way, again, so you're not spending all the money guaranteed right up front. So, and again, because if you say we ran this ad and you're like, oh, you find out after a day, you get 10 leads the first day. You're like, oh man, this is great. So if that happens, so say we started running this ad right here. So we're going to change it back to $3 a day. So say this ad, we run this ad, it's going awesome. You love this ad, you're getting a great response from it. Since you ran it for 3 days, you're like, man, I need to run this. I want to bump this all the way up to a 10-day ad now. So what I would do is go here, and this is the, which one were we just doing? Oh, this one right here. So what you do is you click right here on these 3 dots and you duplicate the campaign. So you duplicate the campaign, and then you go down here and you're like, man, this ad is just killing it. So now I'm going to run this ad. Since I already have it running through the 8th, 9th, and 10th, I'm going to now keep it up, and I'm going to start again on the 10th, and I'm going to then run it for 7 days after that. So now you've basically done the same 10-day ad you were going to do before, but you got a little preview of how well the ad was working before you spent the second $20 on the ad, if that makes sense. So you can, and then also you can duplicate the ads and then change certain things in them. Like if you don't want to change the interests around and redo all that, you don't want to change everything. If you just want to do another listing ad, you can just duplicate it like I just did, and then just change out the listing and change out the ad text. So that way you don't have to keep redoing all this stuff. So you do have that possibility. All right, does anybody have any questions before I get into the how to show you how to create a single property website?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So, and I wanted to let me get into a little more, because this is the part I'm going to show you guys next, is where you send them. So right here. So like I said before, you can put in your website here. You can put in your agent website here if you want. So it takes them right to the agent website. Now, one of the things I would recommend, if you're going to put your agent website in here, I would go to your site. I don't remember what my site address is. So this is an option on your site. Go to it and actually look up the listing, and you can actually take this. So this is if you wanted to direct them to your site. Take this, copy that, and paste that into here. And so this would actually take them into your website when they click on the Learn More link, but it will also take them right into the informational page about that home on your website. So that's one option if you're trying to drive traffic to your website that you can do. And then another thing is, like I said before, you can choose between the sites that you have on here. So you could choose between like a single property website you set up. Oh, a download my app page. So there you go. There's your download your app page you asked about, Margaret. It actually put it in here for you now. So did you see this? They actually have it in here for you.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
So yep. So they have it right in there for you. So you can send them right there. So those are a couple different places you can send people. So now let me show you, the last thing we're going to do today is I'm actually going to show you how to set up one of the single property websites. It's not hard, and it's a pretty cool process. So to do it, you click on consumer on the bottom left corner down there. So click on consumer, and then we're going to go to create a new site. Now that's a little misnomer. It should say like create a landing page. So this, if we were creating other pages for our website, and I'm going to release a video later, probably going to be next week, that shows you how to add a couple of new pages they've come out with for your agent website. One of them is a testimonial page. They have a download my app page. So they're doing some more customization for you.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, but now we're going to do a standalone page, and we're going to do create page. And then this is really cool. So you get to choose the elements that you want on your page. And again, I'm going to use, first thing you always do, change the landing page name up here. Again, this is just for your purposes. No one else is going to see that. Page. So now we're going to add in the elements of the single property website. So the first thing you always put on there is a branded header. And the way you do this, you click on the elements on the right-hand side and you drag them over here. And wherever that green line appears, that's where the information is going to go. So I'm going to drag that over here. I'm going to let go, and you're going to see it puts my information in here. Now, since this is a single property website, the next thing I'm going to put is always the listing. So I'm going to drag this over. I'm going to put the listing there. Now, the next thing I'm going to put, so you have a couple options here. So one of the things you can do is you can do a market snapshot of this. So that gives them some neighborhood information. Now, I would always throw in my download my app info. And you can see the green line. If I just drag this down here and let it go when I'm towards the bottom, You can't see the green line, but it's going to be it's going to be down there. So you can do the download my app. And then, of course, since I want to capture their information, I'm going to click on lead form, drag that over. You can see the green line. Now I want that below the app info, or you could put it above the app info. That's up to you. I'm going to let go, and you can see it puts in app info. And now the last thing I'm going to do is my agent branding down here. So you can do this agent branding, and then the other one is your local expert. So they kind of have two different agent branding. So you can kind of use either one of these that you want. And actually, ooh, I like this one. It has your, it has another download my app button. So that's the one I would use actually instead. I mean, you can put both of them if you want, but I would probably use that one because of the download my app button. So we've created a template for our single property website. Now we need to configure the widgets. So we're going to click configure widgets on the bottom right-hand side, and we're just going to go through this and make sure all these widgets are set up. So we're going to do the branded header. Now we're going to enter, now this is where I would put the address. And scroll down, make sure all your information's in here, hit save and apply, and you're gonna see on the left-hand side, as soon as you do that, it's gonna start populating the information on the left-hand side. So now we're gonna go to the next widget, and that's the listing. So again, we're gonna do the same thing here. Come on. There we go. Select that. And then again, you can do the same thing you did before by making sure the main picture is the picture you want. And then we're going to hit save and apply. And you're going to see that's going to configure this over here. So it puts the main picture right here, but then below, they can, of course, cycle through all the pictures for the property just like you could on any listing. So now we're going to go to the next widget. And this one is, and then you're going to type in whatever zip code. I actually don't know what zip code it's in. I'm just going to say 85260 and see if that lets me. Nope, so I do need to know the zip code. So that is 85379. So then this will show you, should show you all of the neighborhoods in that zip code. So select the right one, hit save and apply, and you're going to see right here, this populates now with the neighborhood information. So again, you're going to make sure you go to the next one. Now you shouldn't have to change anything on the app one. Now you can change the verbiage if you want, but it's already written pretty well. So now this is one of the things that your redirect button is going to look a little different. I don't have my own app since I'm not an agent. So your app, your link's going to be a little different, and it's going to have your agent code at the end. So, but I don't have an app, so that's why it looks like that. Again, go to the next one, lead form. So if you, instead of saying interested, let's talk, you can say for more. Whatever you want to put there, that's up to you. Save and apply. And again, you can see where it populates down there and changes that. And the last one is your info. So make sure all of your info is correct there. Save and apply. And then I always like to save the landing page as a draft just to make sure. And then I go right here, go back in and edit, and hit publish. I must have missed the configure widget button. Oh, okay, that's what I did. That's why it didn't pop that up. So save and apply. I'm missing something here. What do you want from me here? Oh, link to download your app. So that's why mine did not work, because again, like I was saying before, I don't have an app. So yours would already have that in there. But since I don't have an app, it did not like that as an option. Save and apply. So now you can see the publish page button is working. I'm going to publish this. And then I'm going to unpublish it because it's not my listing. And now I'm going to show you what this looks like. So now you have this single property website. Pretty cool looking site. For some reason I'm zoomed out. So pretty cool looking site with all this info on here. And if somebody clicks on here and fills out this info, it goes right into your command. Okay, last thing I'm going to show you today is something you need to do to edit your home page to make sure you see all the leads coming in. So I didn't get into any lead follow-up today. That's all in my class on Tuesday. So next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, we're going to get into what you actually do after you get leads. And actually that class will apply to other leads besides just Facebook leads. It can apply to a lot of different leads, but the focus will be Facebook. One of the things you want to do here to make sure you see these leads, I'm back on the home page, click on Customize Home. And I have all these selected, but what you want to do is usually the lead starts out down here. So you want to click on the leads box, hold it down, drag it up to the top, and hit apply, and that'll make it where you do not have to scroll down to see this lead. So now you can see, for instance, this is if this is where it would show up. So say Leslie clicked on the Learn More button on my Facebook ad, it would show up right here. Click on it, go into their contact card. Now, as soon as I add them to a group, which I did this already down here, adding them to a Facebook lead, tagging them as a Facebook lead, I automatically unmark them as a lead here. And what that does is that takes them out of this list right here. So once you start working with them, uncheck that box so they're not showing up in your recent leads. Now, if you want them to stay there for some reason, don't uncheck that box. They'll stay there. But I recommend as soon as you start working with them, the first thing I would do is add the proper tags to them, whether it's Facebook lead, open house lead, whatever it is, and then automatically put them into, especially in this case, your 10 days of paying smart plan, and then unmark them as a lead so they're out of here. So now another important thing is make sure you have Kelly downloaded on your phone. So if you have the Kelly app downloaded on your phones, that's the only place you can get notifications outside of Command. So your notifications normally show up here. The only place to get them outside of Command is through Kelly. So make sure you have Kelly downloaded and the notifications on it turned on. So, okay, so does anybody, that's really it for the Facebook ad. So does anybody else have any questions? Or Brandon, you want to add anything?
No, nothing that comes to mind, man. Any questions?
Yeah, you guys got any questions for us?
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Yeah, you can turn on your video now too if you want, guys, if you want to turn it on and ask some questions. Go ahead, Carrie, you got a question?
Yeah, I was going to say, are you redoing this class again? Because I could totally watch it again.
Yep. So basically, we'll probably literally do it every other week for the next, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how long, till this COVID thing is over. And I have, I'll post the recordings of each one. And then next time, since I did basically the exact same class these last two times, next time I'll add maybe a different type of ad in there so I can show you guys how to set up a different type of ad. But yeah, I will definitely do it again, and you can watch also the recordings of it. And so, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Does Facebook post the ad immediately, or is there a delay? Can you set it in advance? Did I miss that?
No, so that's where you, yep, let me show you. So yes, there's a little bit of delay because Facebook has to approve it, and you'll see come up right here. This will change once you publish it. This will change to say pending approval. And is it usually 24 hours, Brandon, that it's pending approval?
Overnight. Yeah, I think most of the time, if you set one up right now by tomorrow morning or midnight, actually, you'll probably wake up to leads.
So, and then the other thing is, so if you want to set it to start on a certain date, that's where you do, when you're setting the how much you want to spend option, that's where you choose right here. Like say you didn't want the ad to start till Friday, then you start it on the 10th right here. And then that's the first day the ad would run, whether it approves in 5 minutes or it approves, it won't start until that day.
Right.
So.
And that was what one of my questions was. I understand this is experimental, try different copy, different run times. Expectations, Brandon? 1 lead a day, 3? Does it just kind of depend?
Well, it depends on how much you spend.
I would go in honestly with the expectation of being about $1 a lead. So if you're doing $3 a day, you should get 3 leads.
Okay.
Keep in mind, the longer you run an ad, typically the less effective it is towards the end.
Okay.
About a week to 10 days is the sweet spot. So if you were running a 30-day ad, the leads will start to trail off towards the end of it.
Yeah. Really, the way we've been doing this, don't do an ad longer than 10 days. If you want to run it longer, do a second ad. Don't run this. Don't just do a 30-day ad. And that's why so Brandon and I talked about running the $3 ads or the $9 ads for 3 days if you just didn't have a lot of money to spend on ads. But now thinking about it, I actually like what we kind of came up with in this class of, if you do have the money to spend, run a 3-day ad anyways, see how it does, and then change something up or extend it out another 3 days, extend it out another 5 days. I really like that idea of that. And so, yeah.
So if your entire budget hasn't been utilized, does it just kind of stay in your Facebook advertising account?
They refund you the money. So it will be right here. So you will see right here. You'll have credits right here.
Okay.
So yep.
So the ad that I just ran, Margaret, I went into it with, I ran it for 7 days, $3 a day. So I figured, I've done this before. I'm probably looking at, I would love somewhere between 20 and 25 leads. I've been real happy with it. I ended up with 57.
Yeah.
So
literally 34 cents a lead or something is what that ad ended up being.
Just a touch higher. I think it was like 37, but come on, man. Whatever. I can't think of any. I have never seen that. I've seen 75 cents. I've seen 90 cents. I've never seen 37 cents. Never.
So that's not the norm, and that's why the class is called the 30 leads for $30, because that's what the average. That's what the average at KW is $1 a lead.
They are going to change it to it's 30 leads for $30 unless you're Brandon. And
yes.
He gets to do whatever the hell he wants.
So
Very good.
Casey, I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
So just because I came on like 2 minutes late, whatever, but so I was trying to catch up with everything that was going on. To get the neighborhood video that you're putting on, I was just trying to keep up on all of that. Do you have that somewhere where we can figure out how to do, because I like the neighborhood video that you put on.
It is so easy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I did it with no instruction like a month ago.
Yeah, I'll show you I have a video that shows you where to do it. I'll send it to you.
Okay. And then the properties that you can use, you said anybody, you can find those in our command, all the listings for.
Well, yes. So now let me rephrase this. You can find any listing in the country in command, but to use them, you need to talk to the agent at our office whose listing it is and get their approval.
Okay. So you can just email them, whatever, get their approval, put it in.
I would actually call them, not email them. I would call them, and I would, if they haven't heard about the kind of what we're doing right now, preface it as saying, I'd love to do, I'm treating it as an open house. I'd love to run an ad on your property. Brandon, thoughts?
Okay, guys, super simple. Don't overthink this. Hey, Carrie, it's Brandon. I saw you have a listing over at 123 Main Street. Would it be okay if I brought you a buyer and did a little advertising with that property for you? It won't cost you a dime. Would that be cool?
Yeah. There you go.
Done.
Yeah.
Don't say like, hey, I want to do Facebook ads. Don't say I want to like pretend that I'm the listing agent. None of that. Just would it be cool if I advertised and brought you a buyer.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want somebody to simplify things for you, talk to Brandon. He's the best at it.
So one other thing on that, guys. So if you see a property that is amazing, but it's a rental, who cares?
Yeah.
Because the people on the other end, you're not going to market it you're not going to create an ad and say it's a rental.
Yeah. You don't put price, you don't put any of that on an ad anyway.
Just look at this thing as though this is a super pretty house and people will click on it. I don't care if it's in Mesa, Uganda, I don't care. Because people will click on it, I will get their information, then I will sell them something else.
Yeah. So
I did it for years and years and years on my television show. What we did. So
yes. So next time,
I'm learning so much about you.
So maybe next time we can get into a little bit more about some of the other types of ads you can do too. Because one of the ads Brandon was telling me about is like do an ad for like what was it, the 5 most expensive homes in somewhere. What were you talking about those ads?
You could actually create an ad, right? That was Margaret's top picks of the week and run it every Friday for $4. Right? And you just set up a search in your area, whatever criteria you pick, and then just basically put that link into the destination. You throw a couple of random pictures in there because a listing that you had at one point, because it's strictly a search, it's random, and have the people click on it.
So there is
Can
other
you get permission though to do for those pictures or to use
No,
those?
because at that point, well, that's why I'm suggesting you would want to use a picture from a listing that you previously had. But as far as the search goes, you're just posting the results of an MLS search. You're not advertising a particular listing. So in that regard, and by all means, double check with Kate because I am not the compliance king by any stretch. But yeah, you can do that. You're just throwing out a search criteria.
But honestly, guys, I wouldn't complicate this. We've been seeing the best response from just doing these listing ads. That you don't have to make it any more complicated than that. We have been seeing great response. You saw the numbers I showed you from Martha's ads. She's done 3 ads and is only one of the ads did she pay barely more than $1 for a lead on her ad. The other ones are under $1 or right at $1 a lead. So you're not going to get leads anywhere cheaper than that. It's not even, I don't think it's possible to get leads cheaper than that if you're actually paying for leads. So, I mean, if you think about it, if you spend like $6 on a 2-day ad, it would probably cost you that much in gas money to drive to an open house. So, it's like
by the time you drive there, take the time, set up signs, buy a Starbucks coffee, a case of water, and some cookies, you're up to $45.
Yeah. And you could run your ads for the whole month on that amount of money, which that was what you would spend on a 1-day, 3-hour open house. So kind of think about this in a different way as far as that stuff goes.
$45, man. I'd got like 115 leads.
And
This is kind of like revolutionary. This is like the MLS book going from a book to online.
It really is, Margaret. It's crazy that more people are not taking advantage of this. I mean, it really is. And that's why we're all like, take advantage of this now before every single Keller Williams agent starts doing this. And Facebook is like, wait, they're getting way too many leads from us. So take advantage of this now,
Okay.
Oh,
Well, thank you. I'm super excited.
What else are you guys doing? I mean, you can't do an open house. You can't go door knocking without like dying. So that's kind of out. So you can sit home in your pajamas. The leads come to you, and all you have to do is make phone calls and text people.
Love my pajamas. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Like,
So, and if you guys need help, I know you set to the class and everything, but when you're actually, before you hit publish on the ad, if you would like me to look it over before you actually hit publish, I am more than happy to do that for you guys. Because I had another one of our agents, I won't name his name, that he ran one and didn't get anything out of it. And because that was because he used the and instead of the or in his interest. He had it set up perfectly except for that. And so he got nothing from it. So if you want me to look it over, I will look it over for you before you send it out.
Thank you.
Yep.
Casey, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Real quick, since the app, they came out with the new app, I've had my app, I didn't change anything. Did I need to do something to brand it before I add it to one of these?
Yeah, well, not if you use the link. So if you use the correct link, no, because that's all based on the back end stuff. If you're sharing it from your phone, then yes, you need to make sure you brand it to yourself. So to be able to tell if it's branded on your phone, we can just do this right now. We got 15 minutes left. So open up your app, the KW, the one with the white emblem and the red KW. Now make sure in the bottom right corner that it has your initials. And then once you click on your initials, where under the your agent option, it's like the fourth option down the list there, it should have your name under where it says your agent.
It doesn't.
Okay, so that means your app is not branded to you. Okay. So you need to click on where it says your agent and then type in your name and search for yourself.
Okay.
And then you're going to click get in touch at the bottom and then confirm.
Okay.
And then it will be branded to you.
Oh, look at that.
Now, as far as sharing it and what I was telling you about where to find your actual, what your mobile app website is, if you click on the consumer option in the very bottom left when you're on command, and you're not going to be able to see it on mine because, like I said, I don't have an app. But if you click on that consumer option and then go to Site and App Settings, which is by the green Create a New Site button, and then click URLs, that will show you on the bottom, it will show you, see, I only have my domain, but on yours, right below that, it should have your app URL and your app code.
Okay.
So if you actually go to that website, you will be able to see, and I'll show you what that website looks like real quick because I have another agents that I can use. So this is what that site looks like. If I type that right. Nope, I didn't type it right. So this is what that app downloader page looks like. So this is what it looks like. And then they put in their phone number down here and they basically send themselves the links. Now again, you guys will be branded. This one is not branded, but yours will have your branding on there. So, and that's one of the places that you can send them.
Thank you. That was huge.
Yep.
Casey,
So-
this is. Oh,
No, go ahead.
hey, this is Gigi. So I'm still getting everything set up, but when I go to the page where it says your apps are,
Yep.
I think you set me up with a business Facebook page, but I haven't really done anything with that. Do I need to work on that first before?
No, I don't know if we did set up a Facebook business page for you.
Okay, but it does have to be a Facebook business page, not your personal Facebook page.
Yeah, to do ads. You can't do ads from your personal page.
Okay, I'll get in there and work it out.
It's really easy to set it up. Yeah, it's super easy to set one up. And to tell if you already have one, go to Facebook. And then if you click on the down arrow, and do this on your computer, not on your phone, click on the down arrow next to the question mark here, and it'll list out your pages. So like, here's the one for the office.
Okay.
So, and you can check and see if you have one. And if you don't have one, you literally just hit create right here, page, brand or business, and get started. Now, as a realtor, I would name it, let's say if I was doing yours, I would name it Gigi Peterson Realtor. That's all I would do.
Okay.
And then just do the rest. Real estate as a category. You just type in it, start typing in real estate. And then just fill out the information right here. Your page is created.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And then go back and link that to the KW page.
In the settings page. Yep.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yep. That's all you got to do. And if you, we're meeting on Thursday, so I can help you do that. We can make sure it's all correct then when we meet.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yep, no problem. All right. Any other questions?
Brando, any advice on preparation before running an ad?
Like, just sit there with your phone and like.
Okay. And that's cool. I just figured you'd be like, oh, make sure you get a specific system in place, or
so Brandon,
know something about the property, or is it all just convert?
Yeah. The only thing that I would really suggest is make sure that you're going to follow up with them.
Yep, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
The fish
maybe a little
just
script
jump in the boat.
practice.
Yeah, so I wouldn't stop you from running an ad by not having this set up, but one of the things I would do is come to my class next Tuesday and set up that 10-day smart plan. That literally will walk you through everything you're supposed to do. It'll have a task for every phone call you're supposed to make, a script with that phone call, scripts for text messages you're supposed to send. It will literally take you through everything you need to do for the 10 days after you get that lead. So now, like I said, I wouldn't stop that. I wouldn't stop myself from running an ad like this weekend if I don't have that, but I would get that set up as soon as possible, because that would be the first thing I would do when a lead comes in. I would put them in there, and then all you have to do is open this up and do exactly what these tasks tell you each day. So, but.
Okay.
In the meantime, Margaret, so don't seriously run the ad. Don't overthink it.
Okay, cool.
The phone call looks a lot like this. Hey, Margaret, this is Brandon with Keller Williams Realty. Just wanted to reach out. You had requested some information on my listing on Main Street. Then shut up. Let them talk. If they don't answer, text them.
Yep.
Hey, you stopped by and requested information about Main Street. I'm going to go ahead and set up a search for you. Are you looking for anything in particular? And then just call them every day for the next 10 days.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, you can do it as simple as that. Yeah. It's really just following up, just making sure you stay on top of them and make some type of contact with them every day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wonderful class today, Casey.
Thank you, and thanks, Brandon, for showing up, man. It's been really awesome to have you here for my last couple classes. If you'd be here next Tuesday, that would be awesome.
I'll just put it recurring in my calendar.
Yeah, I think we're going to need you to be a.
It's all right as long as I can. Okay, that's fine. Casey, I will see you in 5 minutes at the huddle.
Oh.
Guys, have a great day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good to see everyone.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming to my class. Contact me if you need anything. And Margaret, I have the video of that follow-up class if you want to watch that too before you come to the class next Tuesday. You're welcome to.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Bye,
All
guys.
right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.